Dogwood Paper Arts, and I was recording with you, and guess what? I forgot to turn on the volume. So I was telling you that I'm working on the sides today. I have done a little more on the top. And what else was I telling you? Oh, that the soft gel matte medium did leave behind kind of a sandpapery feel. It's because it's old. I think I need to maybe mix it with some water and see if it will mix up any better. I really think in the long run I'm just going to need to dispose of it and get some new stuff. I'm going to have to break down and buy new stuff. Oh darn it. So I just have this little place to cover here, and I don't really want all this on the back. I'm going to save that one, I guess. Let's take this one and put it here. Eyelash iron stuck to my fingers. Ah, the wonders of glue. I think it just fell in my glue. Figures it would come off my finger right into the glue, doesn't it? Now, if you have a piece of paper that's a little stiff, you can go ahead and put the Mod Podge or whatever you're using on the back of the paper. Like right here, I'm just going to apply it to the back of the paper a little bit as I apply it to the canvas as well. And then I'm going to start folding it over. Now the other thing I was telling you while the camera was on but the volume was off was that I like to put a little extra Mod Podge on the top. When you're using Mod Podge you can do this. I've never tried this with the soft gel matte medium, but I love to be able to run my finger over the paper like this and squish it down in and get all the air bubbles out of it. I like the way it looks. I love the way that it doesn't do it on all papers, but on some papers the paper starts to peel just a little bit, and I like that grungy look of it. So let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, we have this paper here. And we need to get around this corner. Let's see if this is enough to make it. Yeah, it is. I'm using quite a bit of Mod Podge to just make sure it adheres well. Probably don't need to use as much as I'm using. Let's see if that'll sit there for a second. Since I'm going around a corner, I want this to be a little bit damp so that it will go around the corner better. Got Christmas songs in my head. Been watching those Hallmark Christmas shows. I love those. So I'm just folding this over on the back, giving it this little V shape like I'm wrapping a present. Make sure that you get this wet. And then you can fold it back over. You can keep wrapping it around if you want, or you can tear it off. I'll probably come back and finish up the back and make it look a little better. It's just something, it's a personal thing I like to do, just to make the backs look like they're artful as well. Okay, we're going to need to tear a new piece of paper. I do have an apron on today. I need to really wash all my aprons. They're quite grungy. You don't need to finish your edges like this right now if you don't want. You can do it later, but I find it's kind of a tedious process. So I just like to kind of get it done, and that way as I work with paints and stuff, they just kind of, everything starts blending in better. So you could wait to do the sides till last, or you could wrap them with lace. There's all kinds of finishing touches you can give your canvas when you're collaging. And we could go around it with lace at the end anyway. I just don't know yet. I just kind of have to walk myself through it. So this flower over here is really calling my name. And I think I want to put it somewhere. I think maybe we'll put it over this bird cage. I'm not done with the edge yet, but sometimes you gotta just look at the pieces, and if they're speaking to you, go ahead and listen and see what they want to do. A lot of times when you're working with the Mod Podge and you're using your finger and you're wiping it off every time, you're wiping the glue off, so you actually end up with one finger that absolutely has no glue on it. There, I like that better. Okay, now we have this piece. This one's telling me it wants to be kind of like this. To give it a little curve there. Going to paint up the back so that it gets a little bit workable. My hubby and the dog just got back from town. They went to the post office. The dog likes to go every day. Like yesterday, we didn't go, and she was just so antsy all day. And kind of bored, you know, like she hadn't got to do her job. And of course she didn't. So today she got to go. She will be a much happier dog today. Okay, I have some more thin paper that I pulled out. Better. I'm going to put it back here. Oops, going to tear that side off there. I don't care if the back has a straight edge on it, but I don't really want the straight edges on the canvas part that's going to that could show. Not that anybody's going to be looking at the top of this, but they could. You could have an art critic come in your house. You never know. That'll never happen to me, but you know, dreamers dream. Hi. Did I get something? Granny's attic. What I ordered? Oh! Oh! Oh my! Okay, well you take those out there. Put them up so the dog doesn't get them. Good mail today. Oh boy, this is looking good, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to use that on the top somewhere, I think. Oops, did I have that showing out there? Right there? My address? Granny's Attic. Oh, Lincoln City. Oh my goodness. I know what that is. We used to have a place called the Pixie Kitchen. And that has their old recipe book in it. I wanted that because I'm going to put this back here. I wanted it because they had these crab when we were kids. This is when we were kids, and then into the 80s, so I was a teen then, but well, in the 80s I was, well, my daughter was born in 1980, so I was, anyway, it closed down, I think it was in the 80s, but before that, it was a great place to eat, and they had these crab balls, and as kids we absolutely loved them. So I finally ordered their book so that I could make some crab balls. I hope I can make them. You have to deep fry them, but I figured I'd been being a good girl with my Noom progress, and I could have something like that. That would be something I wouldn't do very often, because I'm not likely to deep fry too much. And so I'm pretty well protected from overuse and overeating of that. Okay, time for a piece of paper. You hear my stomach growling? It shouldn't be growling. I've had my breakfast. I didn't need to wrap around that far, that's for sure. Ah. Okay, I think we'll let this dry for just a little bit. And then I'll come back and work some more on it with the heat gun. And then we're going to dive in to adding a little bit more maybe on the top. And just seeing where we can go with it. But I need to go ahead and get glue off my fingers before I work any more on it. Otherwise, my glue will start coming off my fingers onto the canvas, and that won't be very good because that would just make a big mess. Oh, my finger just stuck to the side there. Tried to peel up a piece of paper. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay, time to go get the glue off my fingers. We'll be back in just a little bit. Ta-ta for now. Hi, welcome back. This is Angela, and this is dried now a little bit, and it's still got some dampness to it. I would like to put some of this vellum on here, but I'm not sure it's showing up well. Maybe I'll place a few, or should we? Yeah, I'm going to place a few. So I'll get back out my brush that I'm using just for my Mod Podge. Sorry about all the ums. I'm umming today. Now this is vellum, and I don't know how vellum's going to stick. I'm going to use my finger to press it down in there. And I think I'm going to try a little bit of Tim Holtz and see if it runs a little bit. Now I think I want to get some little brighter colors maybe, and we'll see if that helps. I love the picked raspberry color. So what I want to do is just go around the side here a little bit of the vellum. And put some of it on here. And then I want to just see what this does, if it moves the ink or if it just makes a mess. So it does just kind of stick to the edges of it a little bit, and it doesn't really move around with the glue. The vellum does wrinkle, but that will just provide texture, and we'll press it down a little more as we go. Let's see, I want to get that on there a little straighter, I think. I do like the pink color that it put down underneath. Now that's nice. When I lifted that up, you could see the pink underneath, and that was good. I like that. So I'm just going to press it in and move some of that color around in the glue, just to kind of start shading in a little bit. I think we'll try that again. Let me find one of these, a dauber thing. So our granddaughter is not showing up yet. They think that they know where she is, but unfortunately she's gotten in with the wrong people, and she's in a house that is hiding her. So I wish she wouldn't have gotten herself mixed up. But, you know, I don't know what happens with some kids, why they start choosing the wrong path. They just get so caught up in other people, and you know, it's really very sad. Oh, I love this piece of paper. It's like perfect. Perfect for something. Tear a little bit off here, off the bottom. And a little bit off the sides. And let's see what we can do with it. Right there, definitely. That's the place. I know this looks like a mess, but I think it'll turn out okay. And if it doesn't, you'll never see these videos. Oh, that's a terrible thing, isn't it? So I'm putting just a little bit of ink around this one, and we're going to see what it does with that. Put it down here. And we have this little one. It's very tiny, probably never show up again. And let's see. We have this one. Going to go ahead and ink the edges on this. Oh, that one's not torn. Let me tear that little piece off the top. There we go. We want it more roughed up. We don't need a bunch of even lines. Well, that's for sure. Let me put that brush away. I'm keep trying to use it. I don't want to accidentally use it for my So anyway, it's been quite a worry. The police have gone to the house. The people would not let them come in and look around. So they have to get a warrant and go back. And I just hope that, you know, if it is indeed a drug house, that the parents get arrested and, you know, what kind of parents, you know, do that? Provide drugs for their kids all the time and their friends, you know? Just demonizing parents and making it harder to raise your kids, and why, you know, what is the reason behind that? I just don't get that kind of behavior in a parent. So the vellum does not stick very well, I'll be honest with you. It wants to move all over the place for one. And then it does wrinkle, but I do like how the ink is kind of coming off in that glue, and then you kind of move it around a little bit, and it is giving it a little shade of color. So I do like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on my finger and move that color around a little bit. Oh yeah, I love what that does. course, I don't mind getting this on my fingers either. It's fun to see what the inks and stuff will do as you lay them down on this different. Okay, this one is Festive Berry. Let's see if we can find a dry place. And we'll get some more glue on our finger. Oh, look at that. A little bit more glue. Oh, it really put down some color, didn't it? I'm going to have to pour my glue into something different. It's getting deeper down in the jar there. I'm going to have to move it just a little bit more each direction. Oh, I like that. Let me grab a cup to put some of that glue in. Where's my cups? Where's my cups? Don't know. Oh, here's one. Okay. So let's put some more of that Festive Berry in there. I like the way that it is creating some extra color in there. Just going to pour some of my Mod Podge over here. Oh, look at that big gunk coming out of there. We'll just throw that in the garbage. And then we'll just kind of blend it. A little this way, little that way. And then blend it more this way. And it is putting a nice hint of color in there. I like that. Okay, I'm going to grab a blue or a purple. I wonder if I have sapphire. There's chip sapphire, yes. Little chip sapphire. And then I think there's a purple one that I really love. Here is Peacock Feather. I'll grab some more. There's a purple one. That's green, brown. There's another red, orange. Don't really want to get the glue into my ink. Okay, so that was Peacock. This one is the Chip Sapphire. I don't see much coming out of that very well. Oh, there was a good dusting of it there. Try that first. And then here is seedless preserves. I love the purple colors in this. I'm kind of daubing this off on my towel that's on my lap, so I don't get the glue in on my pad here. Okay. Now I'm going to take the glue and just start moving that color around a bit. So it's kind of like finger painting, but you're pushing color around. Ooh, I almost like that dark color that was there. Let's see what it does over here. There's that purple. Okay, we have some good colors in there. I think I'm going to leave this real purple along the edge there. I really like that. But I want to go back and get some of this peacock color and put it along some of it as well. And I really liked it up here, so I'm going to kind of smudge it back in a little bit. Really wipe off my dauber. Okay, well, we have some good color down. So, next step, we need to let this dry again. I think we'll take the pink and maybe come up here with a little bit of pink. And maybe a little bit in this green. Then wipe your tip off so you don't get a bunch of glue in there. You might want to use different tips. Okay. That's the vellum there, and it wrinkles and gets hard and kind of comes up. Okay. So our next step is to let this dry again. And so I'm going to let it do that on its own for a little bit, and then I'm going to take the heat gun in about 15 minutes and go over it and see if the heat gun will dry it completely so that we can come in with some gesso, and we're going to knock back this whole level and see what we can come up with. Okay? All right. See you in a little bit. Bye.